What's up, everybody? This is SPC Wills World 2008 here with a video on the potential for severe weather this coming week, this coming early next week, especially this coming early next week. So we have Sunday, then we have Monday, and then we have Tuesday to worry about. I'm going to be mainly focusing on Monday as it is the most vigorous and most vicious looking on the models. So make sure to, I hope you guys enjoy the video. And also, before we start, make sure to like and subscribe as usual. And turn on the bell notification while you're subscribing so you not miss an upload from the YouTube channel. I'm trying to hit 100 subscribers by maybe the end of summer. So if you guys can sub, that'd be awesome. Also, I'm trying to get about 1,000 people that know about my channel. So on the About section, so we would really appreciate you guys if you watch my videos and you tell your friends and family so they watch them too. Anyway, guys, let's get started. So we have the NAM on Pivotal Weather. It is showing currently very nice temperatures across the southeast in the 80s and 70s. And so this is not really a big deal, but go to tomorrow around 18Z. So this is 18Z. We have see those lower temperatures due to convection development. We have 80s up in Nashville, but we have convection development. That's why the temperatures are lower across Mississippi, which you would think they'd be higher, obviously. But that's because we have a chance for severe weather now. This is not going to be really talked about. And then on Monday, we have very high temperatures. With temperatures in the upper 80s, though potentially even hitting 90 somewhere in Mississippi. But we have 80 temperatures for the southeast and Kentucky. Mainly, we're just going to be talking about the dew point, but just wanted to let you guys know about the temperatures. So tomorrow, see 18Z, we have dew points in the mid to upper 60s across Mississippi, with dew points around mid 50s in Tennessee. Then they gradually get a little bit higher by 21Z, so upper 60 dew points, which should aid in the potential for some strong, severe storms. But that's not really what we're mainly focusing on. We're focusing on this, and you guys can see by about 18Z on Monday, we have dew points in the lower 70s in West Tennessee and portions of the 70s in Middle Tennessee. Once we hit 21Z, we have more 70s spreading into Middle Tennessee. And once we hit that 0Z mark, we have dew points in the 70s in Kentucky, in southern Illinois, and Indiana. So very moist, humid, and muggy, which is very good for storms. As we can see, even into Tuesday, you guys can see we have dew points in the 70s in Tennessee, Kentucky, and Alabama, and Mississippi. This is a very low res model, so it's not going to really pick up too much. As you guys can see, those line of storms coming in Mississippi. But so you go for the day, you guys can see a line of storms trying to develop and then push into Tennessee. And that's a pretty organized line for a low res model, so you need to watch closely as that develops, especially into Tuesday afternoon into Tennessee. So here's our ingredients. So first we'll look at our mid-level rapture rates. They're very impressive, especially on Monday afternoon. We have some mid-level rapture rates close to the 9 in northwest Alabama, and basically in 7.5 to a 9.5 across the entire southeast region. So yeah, very large damaging hailstones will be possible if supercells and isolated storms can develop and be super elevated. We also have a damaging wind fret. This should be something on MCS or potentially even a derecho. It depends on what happens with the convection, but then this also starts to thin out, as you know, Tennessee, and then it should start to dissipate once we reach Tuesday night. So this is going to be starting like Monday evening and lasting all the way probably until Tuesday evening. So a 24-hour solid severe weather event, which should be in effect. So a 24-hour daily based severe storm threat. Now we'll look at our mixed layer instability. So we have extremely high numbers. First, we'll start off at 18Z. We have numbers around 2,500 joules per kilogram Tennessee, and maybe over 3,000 joules per kilogram Southwest Tennessee, northern Mississippi, and portions of there Mississippi as well. And then we see numbers around 4,500 joules per kilogram in northwest Tennessee and southwest Kentucky. And we have numbers in Tennessee around 3,500 joules per kilogram in Louisiana there too. We also have like 2,500 to 3,000 joules per kilogram of Cape in Illinois and Indiana and Kentucky as well. These numbers stay with us throughout the evening. As you guys can see, they just grow and they shouldn't dissipate at all. We still have values around 1,500 to 2,000 joules per kilogram by early Tuesday morning. and we will have values will spike up to around 2,000 joules per kilogram in Tennessee, Southwest Kentucky 4,000 to 3,500 joules per kilogram, or excuse me, 3,000 to 4,000, 3,500 to 4,000 joules per kilogram in Northwest and West Tennessee and Southwest and Southern Illinois and Southwest Kentucky. Sorry, I cannot talk today, guys. We will get our mixed layer convective inhibition. Now, this is something that's on everybody's mind. Will there be a cap? And it does look like there will be a cap to prevent storms from developing during, actually no cap, excuse me, but there will be a cap overnight, which would prevent the storm development. So we really got to see if the storms will break the cap or not. You would need at least over a 50 to stop thunderstorm development, but if the Cape values are above 2,000, they can break the cap. But it depends. The stronger the cap, the more Cape you would need to break the cap or convective available potential energy. There's going to be a cap, and it's going to be around 100 to 200 convective inhibition numbers, but it should break the cap as we move into the evening. So this is the most unstable the models think we're going to get. So, we see 21, 18Z. The most unstable Cape shows about 3,000 joules per kilogram early on. And then, once we get into the evening hours, we have values around 4,500 joules per kilogram in southern Illinois and around 3,500 joules per kilogram in Tennessee. So I think the Cape numbers will be on the range of 2,500 to 4,500 joules per kilogram, which is extremely high and very favorable for storms. And then it sees higher numbers on Tuesday as well. So this will be a 24-hour solid severe weather event. Also, it's kind of like the same thing as the next unstable Cape. So you guys can just see so much Cape. And you're all probably wondering about the cap. And there will be more of a... There's going to be more of a surface-based cap than there's going to be a mixed layer cap. So storms will obviously be surface-based due to the fact there will be, they will probably be more elevated due to a surface-based, more capped environment. But if the storms will likely break the cap, and then I'm not going to say a bad word on my YouTube channel due to this being for kids, but all crud will break loose if the cap breaks. Crud, very bad. As I'm trying to say, all very bad things will start to break out if the cap breaks. We will have several storms with large damaging hail, damaging winds, and a couple tornadoes. And then this will become more of a linear MCS, derecho northwest flow kind of develop, and should move into central Tennessee from northwest to southeast. This is the lift and height. So we have there's a good amount of lift in the atmosphere due to it being very unstable, and lift will definitely help as the cold front approaches for severe weather to go up significantly. Lift helps storms, and you guys can see we have plenty of lift in the air. 21Z. Let's take a sounding. I'm just curious, and this is one of our soundings. We have a dew point 70s. We have look at these Cape values, and 16.1. The supercell composite STP is around 2. We have a tornado, and we have a good curved off photograph. This curves off to the right, which would be producing tornadoes. But look how fat that Cape line is. You don't see that a lot in dew points in the 70s. So there's going to be plenty of lift on Monday. And then there still will be probably some pretty good amounts of lift as we go into the overnight hours as well. Now, we're all questioning how will the shear factor play out. Now, shear values will be around 30 to 40 knots, which is supportive to organized storms. But I think if you want to get good shear, you need to get into the 50s. But still, that will probably do the trick. And you guys can see, we do have some rather solid helicity values around 200 to 250 meters squared per second squared, which would support a tornado threat. But I'm not really 100% convinced on that currently. But, like I said, stuff changes, so we need to watch it. But still, we'll have good helicity values around 250 to 300 meters squared per second squared. And I told you the energy helicity lift is very high. extremely high, honestly. We have fours, freeze fours, potentially fives in Kentucky. We only need around that to really get something going. And then here's the energy helicity. Develops really high. And honestly, some numbers we see, you have a 12, a 10 to a 12. Very good. And we have widespread 6, 7, 8s in Tennessee. So really, it won't take much. Our supercell composite. Now people are dying to know about this. Yes, it looks like we have about, our supercell composite scales are reading about from a 10 to a 20 on a scale of 0 to 50. So that's about 1/4 of the way up the scale. And we might even in spots have around a half way up the scale, which is very good. So we'll take a little sounding. See up there in Tennessee, we have very good CAPE. A very limited capped. We have very good helicity, very decent shear, and very good environment for tornadoes with a very moist and stable air mass around 3,500 to 4,000 joules per kilogram of CAPE. With 24.0 on the supercell composite, a 2.7 test TP fixed for the significant tornado parameters. So, like I said, this is not something to joke around with. And those numbers should die off. But here's our significant tornado parameter. I know a lot of people want to see this. Macedonia. Sorry, guys, I'm humming a song. We take a sounding near Louisville, Kentucky. What do we have here? We don't have a PDS, but there is a little bit of a cap, but that should be broken up. So we have a very significant tornado parameter threat. And again, the numbers do go up, looks like Tuesday morning. And there's a little bit of a spike near Tennessee. You might want to take a sounding somewhere in the Marshall County. I live in Tennessee, so I know most of the counties, but CAPE values around 2,000 to 3,000 joules per kilogram, which is very decent for the environment. Again, let me run the model so you guys can see the reflectivity, and then we'll wrap things up. So you guys can see, it looks like some kind of line of storms will move its way through, like northwest flow. And then it should push out of here by the time the run ends, by 1 a.m. on Wednesday morning. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to stay tuned for later updates. Before we do end the video, I will show you guys the Storm Prediction Center's outlook on Monday. So we have a 15% risk for Indianapolis, Memphis, Nashville, Tulsa, St. Louis, and the marginal Dallas, Columbus, Fort Worth, Oklahoma City, and Arlington. We also have a hatched region from St. Louis, Louisville, Little Rock, Springfield, and Evansville, Indiana. So these hatched areas could see large damaging hail, and large damaging hail should be the main threats, followed by damaging winds and a couple to a few tornadoes, most likely isolated, but could be scattered as well. So in those hatched areas, we'll have the greatest threat for some significant severe storms. And this will likely expand southeastward into Tennessee as we get closer, and there might even be an enhanced risk. So stay tuned for later updates to my YouTube channel. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and have a great night. See you guys later.